Get the eRadio SA app right now for free on the Google Playstore. Entertainment radio on the go.
And we're back with Tech Thursday right here on eRadio Live. It's Eon and Kaine with you, and we are discussing this week's biggest tech stories. Right now we go to AC Kerman's with Kaine.
Yes.
What's happening at AC Kerman's?
At AC Kerman's, so those of you who don't know, AC Kerman's is how you tell all your really, really wealthy friends that you shop at somewhere.
Your
very
Woolies friends.
Exactly. You tell your Woolworths friends, you tell your Billabongies, you just tell everyone you're shopping at AC Kerman's. But they've launched an online store, and I'm going to ask you a question, Eon. What do you think they're going to sell in this online store? Ackermans is making an online store.
Okay, they're starting an online store. Not clothing.
No, well...
Okay, they're doing clothing already, but I'm sure.
Who knows?
No, I'm sure they were doing that. Is it something new?
It's something.
Could it be... So it's not clothing. Cell phones?
Very good. Cellular and tech products.
Yay!
From Ackermans. So you can walk into the store, you can get yourself some shoes, some pants and a shirt, and you can go home and order a phone from them.
And budget phones, I believe.
Budget phones. You can get a phone for as little as 159 Rand.
Can it make phone calls?
I would hope so.
I'm sure it can't WhatsApp.
I don't know what it can do, but for 159, it can at least make a phone call.
I hope it comes with a radio at least, for God's sakes.
AC Kerman said that cellular has been a key component of its retail offering since 1998, selling over 2.5 million handsets every year. I wouldn't have guessed that from Ackermans.
No.
And you don't guess that. And it's funny because they do that does really, really well in their business. And when you go into an Ackermans store, an Edgar's store, a Pep store, you always see cellular products.
Yeah.
You always see it. And it's so interesting. I mean, what in a person's philosophy, in a person's mentality, in his psyche, makes him want to go, oh, you know, like I need a phone today. I'm going to go get something from Ackermans or Edgar's or...
New underwear.
Yeah, and a phone. I mean...
Yeah, because it's got holes in my underwear. So. Not me.
I don't know why you would go there. And it's and that really made me realize that... Do you know what? There's no places that actually... At least where I'm from, that just sell phones. You can go there and you can just buy a phone. You can buy Nokia, you can buy BlackBerry, you don't get that. You don't get a phone store. You get Vodacom, you get Cell C.
Yeah, only the networks.
You might get Samsung, you might get Apple, but you don't get a phone store. You get the Indian stores and the Pakistani stores which fix phones and sell covers and might sell the odd
chargers.
Exactly. But you don't get a phone store. Why don't you get a phone store?
That's actually quite interesting, Kaine.
Very interesting. I don't think a phone store would even do very well, to be honest.
Well, in South Africa, I don't know.
It's like you don't necessarily... Like, how many times do you think a person buys a phone?
I don't know.
Like once every
People
2
are
years?
so reckless with their phones nowadays.
Okay.
I mean, I've got my phone for like 2 years already, I think. So I'm due for an upgrade in December. But some people, you know, they're so careless. They flush it down the bloody toilet. And
like, if I had a Cape Union Mart and I sold phones, I think it would do well. Like, it's strange how just a phone can actually be sold anywhere. And I think that's where Vodacom and Cell C actually got a very good plug into the market. They schemed, oh, wow, we can put our products right in these stores, get people right onto our contracts, right from a different store. They were the big thinkers there. That's a marketing strategy.
But you have to be a big thinker right now in 2021 to survive.
You do.
And that brings us to our next discussion, because we're going to talk about, and I said when we started eRadio, I said we won't mention the L word, but we have to talk about it. It can't just be all rainbows and ponies. We have to talk about this thing that we're living with now. I'm not talking about your mother-in-law won't leave your house. I'm talking about load shedding. Load shedding is with us, and they say it's still going to be with us for a long time, and it is affecting all of us. You can say what you like. It is really affecting all of us. I'm sure if you're listening right now, your life has been inconvenienced in some way over the past few years already, and most recently this week.
Definitely.
In South Africa.
I think it's 100% possible. I mean, just 2 days ago, I was sitting with the day where we had 2 bouts of load shedding, one in the afternoon and one in the evening, and then I believe there was even one in the morning. So you're talking about 2, 4, 6 plus 3.5 hours, 7.5 hours maximum of no light. And you're talking about that no light during a time when you work. Now, if you're someone like me and you can sometimes stress yourself to a 20-hour work week and you have 7.5 hours of no power, you don't actually have enough time in the day to get through all the work that you've been disrupted through and get sleep. It sounds like a real that's a real first world problem right there, but it truly is. Without electricity, when you're working and you've got a flow and something disrupts that flow, it's actually very negative. You kind of shut down for 2 hours. You can continue, you can use a laptop, there are ways to go about it, but it is truly disruptive in its
Can I
nature.
brag?
Go for it.
My laptop battery lasts almost 3 hours, and I've got a UPS for my router, so I'm all sorted, okay? I'm loving it, but I understand, especially if you have a desktop. And I mean, let's be honest, those inverters are so pricey. And UPSs, they're only for, as they say, some people want to use them to keep it on for the whole 2 hours when the power is out. But it's only a UPS, it's just for you to quickly, the lights went off, save your work, and then switch off your computer anyway. It's just for that little bridge.
Just gives you a little bit of juice.
Yeah, not to keep it on the whole time.
No.
If you want that, you will have to go for inverters, and they don't come cheap, unfortunately.
No.
Not at this stage, no.
And I think really, if you're someone who's young, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're looking for a new kind of tech to fiddle with, you should really consider looking into managing power cuts and creating usable equipment for people to use when the power goes out. I have a power bank for my router, and it can last up to 6 hours, so it's very nice to have the ability to be always connected to the internet. And only in South Africa is the problem so apparent, but anything can happen throughout the next few years that might disrupt people's power. And you really got to ask yourself, we keep getting these examples of how it feels to not have power, and we keep seeing Eskom saying, we're fine now, and then we're not fine, and then they think they're okay, and then all of a sudden they're not okay. Clearly they don't even know what's going on. And when it reaches a point where all available machines go critical, and it can happen quite easily because it's machinery that's reliant on itself in order to run. So if they have 10 major power generation units and 7 of them fail, and they don't shut down and manage that power properly, they could overstress the final 3, and then everything's gone. And then you really think, we'll be in a bit of an interesting, sticky situation if we don't have power for 3 days.
You know what just failed?
What?
My phone.
Oh no.
I'm just going to fetch my power bank. We'll be back soon.
Check your systems are offline.
eRadio Live, powered by TCS Wi-Fi.
Okay, Kaine, my phone is back, and we back here on Tech Thursday on eRadio. We're just about to wrap it up when my phone went blah, load shedding. And we were actually talking about load shedding. So now I've got my power bank connected here, so we're all good. Did you know that the Western Cape has announced a new project which will see 6 candidate municipalities in the province move off of Eskom's grid in favor of other power options? Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, but I want to ask you, previously you spoke about, earlier on the show, you spoke about Jeff Bezos of Amazon, and he, didn't he at one point say he's bringing more electricity to South Africa in a boat or something?
He did say that. Was
that him?
I think it was Jeff Bezos.
Now, where you at, bro?
Huh?
Where you at, bro?
Where you at, bro? We need it. I can't remember. Hey? I can't actually remember, but there was some talk about it, but I haven't heard anything materialize from it.
Yeah, where's that ship? Can we please get that ship, because we totally need it. But anyway, I love that people want to be independent. And I saw a comment on social media the other day, and the guy said, by the time that Eskom is finally fixed, we will all have solar power. So can you imagine how long that's still going to be?
It is, and
basically never.
I was speaking to my dad about it, and I said, look, in like a couple of years, it very much might be in the position where everyone, or a lot of it, the majority of people are actually running off alternative power sources.
Yeah.
And that's a really exciting future for me, because monopoly is often monopoly often breeds, linear services. So you never really see the products that were being provided unto us evolve and mature, and that's why you see, Eskom like 30 years not managing or tending to the equipment and doing the routine maintenance and things like that. When you have competition, that brews new products, lower prices, trying to be at the in front of your competition makes the consumer a much better deal. And that's what we need in South Africa. We need to encourage competition, and we need to support the up-and-coming competition and the best deals, because they will brew more competition, and that we will be the ones that benefit from it, and we'll find the best services. And Eskom will disappear with something like that. They will have to adapt or perish.
Yeah, do you think one day everything will just explode?
Like, do you think all electrical equipment could just explode?
But they're power stations. Do you think like one day it's just going to be like, no, screw this, and then just bail,
My firm prediction, if things don't get better or we don't take off enough of the load quickly, I believe that we will run into a situation where, while Eskom, because I think Eskom, as much as everyone truly does dislike them, they feel that pressure all the time. I think every time they shed load, they get mad.
That sounds wrong.
Tweets, every time they cut the power, they get horrible tweets. They get pressure from big South African shareholders and things like that. They under a lot of pressure, and to maintain smiles and keep investors happy and keep businesses happy and keep your connections happy, you have to try and provide a better service. And in trying to provide that better service, they might overextend themselves and end up taking out a bunch of their power generation units. And quite frankly, even when load shedding was at its worst in South Africa, I didn't really fear or be concerned for load shedding. I was concerned for a period of no electricity for 3 days, because that's where people take chances. That's where things gets a little bit uneasy, is when people, chances know that, oh wow, there's no electrical power for 3 days. Like, they were completely blacked out. The only way to get power is to have a generator or to have solar. That's going to create a very uncomfortable environment, especially, thinking about safety and security at the home. When you see what happens with riots and things like that, how really out of hand they can become if not properly controlled. I would not want to be in a situation where that happens. So in light of that, I really hope competition comes and they stay and they take market share, and that's the way to go.
I would also put that on my wish list, Kaine, but I don't know. I spoke to somebody earlier today, and he said to me, South Africans, we have to be some of the most resilient people out there ever. I mean, we just grin and bear. Look at what we are dealing with, and we still run our businesses. I think we are incredibly tough. South Africans, ons vat nie nonsens nie.
Exactly. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, I once had a friend of mine explaining a little bit of Israel to me, and they're up and coming, and they are on a whole nother level to South Africa for sure in their own right. But they face a lot of military pressure. They're constantly defending themselves against like aerial attacks and all sorts of devastating things. Their situation right now, is if they hadn't done all their things they had to do to get better military equipment, to get better defensive equipment, to do all of the things that they've done in order to survive this long, they would just be gone. They just wouldn't exist. Yeah. So for them, it's really survive or die. And for a lot of South Africans right now, it really is survive or die. And that actually manifests seriously powerful ideas and entrepreneurship, and good does stem from hardship, but you wouldn't. If I could change the hardship, I would run on a bicycle if it meant everyone could have power.
You're such a good person.
You'd go, but unfortunately not.
Yeah, but the 6 candidate municipalities participating in this project it's called the Municipal Energy Resilience Project. They are 6 of them: Drakensberg Municipality, Mossel Bay Municipality,
Shout out.
Overstrand Municipality, Saldanha Bay Municipality, Stellenbosch, and then also Swartland. No Knysna or anything that we're here in our area. The closest one is Mossel Bay Municipality, so I'm obviously going to ask them for a few cables from Mossel Bay.
Here's my suggestion for Knysna. I mean, we have a massive amount of water coming in and out of Knysna every single day. Can we not create some sort of hydro? We don't need a dock. I know it's really nice and you can go out the heads, but if it means we could create enough energy for the entire town, wouldn't it make sense to put some hydropower generation here?
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's thought
possible?
of it. I don't know. It would be a very good idea. I know water comes in and water definitely goes out.
It sure does.
But I also know that when you're generating energy, well, I guess a turbine, I mean, to generate that energy, it could turn clockwise or it could turn counterclockwise. So I guess you could go for hydro. It would change. I bet you there's something like that exists already.
Yo, somebody must have thought of it already. Get in touch.
Get in touch. Call eRadio.
Call Kaine.
Take the first step.
And then lastly, as we wrap up now, Kaine, did you know that Signal, that's the other one, we've got WhatsApp and we've got something else, and then we've got Signal. It appears that they are no longer working in China. It's been banned, I suppose. So if you want to use Signal in China, you will have to use a virtual private network, a VPN. That's
Unreal,
interesting, because in Dubai, I know, like we said previously as well, in Dubai you can't make WhatsApp voice calls or video calls, but you can type. You can use text in WhatsApp, but you can't use all the other things. Interesting. I mean, look at us here in South Africa. We can just try anything. We have access to everything.
That's crazy. And as the lines between borders and continents become, less and less apparent because of interconnectedness and the Internet of Things and, technology in general, it's going to become so interesting to see how the world reacts to different countries trying to regulate and, in a sense, control their population. Because for someone like China, they can say, let's just ban Signal. And people in China can be like, well, that's bleak, and they just carry on with their lives. But then they think to themselves, wait, Africa and America and Australia, they all have Signal. Why can't we have Signal? And that is a very interesting question because, traditionally, even now, I mean, we have very little idea what goes on in some parts of Korea, obviously, because it's very it's very like not shared. But I think it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
Now, from this week, at the end of the show, I will obviously recommend an app. Okay. And today I am recommending, I haven't used it myself, haven't been in a situation to use it. Maybe I'll do it next time. We're on air, I will set it and we'll see what happens. But did you know that you actually get a few of them? You just have to be careful when you download them, because some of them have so many ads, they're not like worth it, or you have to pay for them to get rid of the ads. But there's an app called Fake Call Plus. Now, when you go on a blind date, Kaine, and you want to get out of a sticky situation, or just meeting with your aunt that you don't like or something, and you want to get out, you can actually pop into the bathroom at the restaurant or coffee shop where you are, whatever you were doing, even at home, man, and set the app to, say, 5 minutes. Put it back in your pocket, and then within 5 minutes, a phone call will come in on your phone. And it can show on the screen whoever you want it to show.
That is so useful, eh?
It can say, Kaine calling.
Yeah.
And then you can go, ooh, my phone's ringing. Oh, sorry. It was great seeing you again, but I've got to go now. And it literally looks like a phone call on your screen. You can even set the picture, you can set the name, and you can even answer it.
That is so useful. I mean, it gives you the ability to get out some seriously sticky situations, that's for sure. Eh?
Yeah, because I think before we knew about these apps, I don't know about you, but we used to set our phone alarms. And then that would ring, but that didn't work so well, because on the screen you can see that there's an alarm or a timer going off. And then sometimes it would just keep going off and like, shit.
Imagine you're in a situation, I don't know, you bump into an old friend, you just don't want to chat or something like that. now you're busy setting. You're setting
Yeah,
the
you
timer,
have
and
to
they
know
catch
in
you
advance.
setting the timer. Are you setting a timer to get out of this conversation? No, that's not what I'm doing at all.
So you obviously have to
Time it.
Yeah, you have to time it beforehand. You need to know that you're going to see this person, and then just quickly go and set it. Otherwise, they will see. But it's called Fake Call Plus. It looks like this one's only available in the iOS store, so Apple. But there's an alternative on Android in the Google Play Store, and that's called Fake Call Prank. It's actually meant to be a prank, but you can use it to get out of sticky situations. I think it saved many people.
Life hacks with Eon for sure.
Yeah, next week I'll probably review I don't know, something else.
See what other apps there are.
Yeah, but it's nice. People must play around a bit in your app store. There's so many apps.
There is, and
Great apps.
there's a saying that says there's an app for that.
Yeah,
And you can
there
basically
really is.
take a pin the tail on an idea, and there's an app for that.
You know so many good apps, so maybe next week you must recommend one.
Yes, I think let's do every week. We'll recommend one good app, because the app you actually recommend is very useful. Like, imagine you're stuck listening to your lecturer after a class or something like that. He's going to lecture you after that class.
Yeah.
You set an alarm, you call it mom, and
Yeah,
you do
sorry,
what you gotta
Mom.
do.
Yeah, it's urgent. Sorry.
And imagine you just
Got to
says
go.
no, like, no, sorry, he can't.
And it even uses your ringtone, eh? It knows your ringtone. So
Hey,
it won't just
ooh.
play any little song or something. It will actually not.
Perfect.
Won't play Mary Had a Little Lamb or Barbie Girl. Imagine it's ringing with Barbie Girl in front of your friends.
This milkshake brings that song. That would be hilarious.
Yes,
eh?
that's going to be more awkward than the conversation
Definitely.
before the phone call.
But definitely a useful app to have for sure.
It is.
On
And
my
next week
bucket
you're going to
list.
recommend one for us
Yeah.
next week.
I think we'll recommend something. I mean, there's so many cool apps out there. I think the first thing we'll focus on is a cool app to do things with photos. Like, if you have a photo,
Yes.
you want to put it on the gram. You want to tweet it.
You want more than the filters on the gram.
Maybe you want to go somewhere professional like LinkedIn. Then you can download one of these apps. So stick around for next week. We'll see what that is.
Kane, thank you so much as always. Enjoy the rest of your day and also the rest of your week and weekend.
Thanks, Eon. Have a great Thursday. See you soon.
And may the light be with you in these dark times.
Thanks to our sponsor,
Yes. Who was that? Oh, the toilet.
the toilet.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can't wait to test out the demo. Catch us next Thursday between 3 and 4 live on eRadio, and then also the podcast afterwards on eRadioSA.com. Have a great afternoon. From me, Eon, it's goodbye, and from Kane.
Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.